What up, YouTube? Knowledge is self-determination. So this video is actually piggybacking off a video that I had already done about the Metrosexual Agenda, and also a video that I saw 7-8 Sports put out there, and who else did a video on this? 7-8 Sports did a video on this. Not Dream Chasing, but Barbershop Conversations did a video on this. It's about the situation with what's that kid name? Adrian Broner. Yeah, it's the Adrian Broner situation. The quote unquote beef with him, between him, Floyd, and Javante Tank Davis, right? Look, man, I wasn't even gonna do a video on that because I wanted to wait and I usually do that with a lot of new stuff that hits the fan. I usually wait for other dudes to drop videos, wait for more information to come out, and then I'll approach the subject. You know, I usually don't jump all over a story. You know what I'm saying? When it first comes out, I usually don't do that. I usually wait and give it time because things always change. A story always changes a lot of times. When there's consistency in the story, or I find that there's consistency, then I go in on it. But I wanted to speak to this, man. I wanted to speak to this because this kind of goes into what I was saying in my one video about the Metrosexual Agenda. And actually, I didn't even want to touch on that. I just wanted to use that as an example. Actually, to bring it up, I wanted to use it as an example to talk about a conversation that I had with two female co-workers of mine, colleagues, co-workers, whatever you want to call it, and talking to them about my displeasure with the Metrosexual Agenda. Now, I'm going to say this, right? Listen, ladies, I'm not a female. I'm not a woman. Although I believe myself to be a great father to my daughters and my sons, but speaking about my daughters right now, a great father to my daughters. They love me to death. You know what I'm saying? They have all the love and adoration in the world for me as their father. You know, I'm not a female. There's certain things about being a woman I will never be able to tell my daughters. They need their mom and other females, other positive, morally correct, I guess I should say, females in the world. Like that's why those people are there, you know, because there's certain things about being a female that I don't know. Contrary-wise, about being a man, women, you don't know shit about being a man. I'm gonna just keep it 100. You don't know anything about being a man. And these two female colleagues of mine, pretty much concur. They pretty much agree with that sentiment. You don't know what it's like to be a man. So with that said, right, I was telling them, I was explicit in explaining to them that I do not have an issue with homosexual men. I don't have an issue with homosexual men. Homophobia, the fear of homosexual men, depending on the usage of the word homo, like homo sapien, upright man. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, like whatever, Homo could also be used to say same, like they say homosexual, same sex. Basically, you like the same sex. That's why it's called homosexual, because you like the same sex, right? Anyway, never mind that. Kind of went off on a tangent there. Listen, and I was trying to explain to them, I don't have an issue with homosexual men. If you are openly gay, man, and you are proud of that or whatever, be you, man. Be you. You have the right to be who you are, as long as who you are and what you do does not negatively influence others. That's all I'm saying. And I try to carry myself likewise. As long as what I do to myself, I'm never going to project anything that I do, any bad habits that I may have, onto the world, because I'm not trying to influence anybody to do what I do. If it's not positive or something that I want people to imitate, then I'm gonna keep it to myself, plain and simple. And I think everybody else in the world should do the same thing. Keep your fucked up stuff to yourself, right? So I was telling them I don't have any issue with homosexuality, homosexual men, homosexual women, yada yada yada, right? I have no problem with that at all. But we live in a world where heterosexual men. We live in a world where, first and foremost, there are brothers that are on the down low, on the DL. Y'all know what that is. You know what I mean? DL brothers, you know what I'm saying? Undercover booty lovers, you feel me? We got a lot of brothers out there like that are on that tip, and they're too ashamed of themselves and too afraid of the backlash to actually come out and be who they are, right? So off the rip, I don't trust any grown man around my kids. Off the rip, you can call that whatever you want. I don't trust any grown man around my kids at all because there's too much of that going on. Too many people in the world prey on little kids. So I already don't trust any grown up around my sons or my daughters, first and foremost. Secondly, I don't want any man who is a heterosexual wearing a skirt and walking around with a fucking handbag, getting his eyebrows arched, you know what I'm saying, getting manicures and pedicures, trying to influence my son. These colleagues of mine, right? They could not understand what I was talking about. They were telling me I need to be more accepting of other people and their lifestyles. I need to be more open to new things. No, the fuck I don't. I don't have to be open to no man wearing no dress, wearing tight ass jeans. Now, mind you, these are two women who will talk about the lack of masculinity so far as men are concerned. Literally, they will talk about the lack of masculinity, how men aren't men anymore, they're boys, right? Right? But then at the same time, will actually defend men wearing skirts and effeminizing themselves. Check this out, man. Check this out. I'm not into that skinny jeans shit, because, and again, this is no offense to homosexual people, none whatsoever. But you can't call yourself a heterosexual man and think you're my equal and you're walking around, you know what I'm saying, with tight ass jeans on. Because that's what chicks wear. That's what females wear. Females like wearing tight jeans. Why? Because one is what they've been kind of molded into as an acceptable form of clothing for them. But a lot of females wear those kind of things because women start to explore their sexuality when they start to hit puberty. They start to form a shape and they want to show off their curves. They want to show off themselves. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a feminine trait to highlight and accentuate your femininity. You know what I'm saying? By women wear low-cut tops and all this, that, and the third, sheer outfits, tight jeans, and all that.
And just real quick, as you guys can see, I pulled up images of skinny jeans. Who the hell do y'all see modeling all of these jeans for the most part? Super extreme skinny jeans. Men. Now they're men. But before, women. Even pictures after the guys. Women. Do you guys get the message? You dudes out here are dressing like chicks. You're dressing like chicks, man. Take off the skinny jeans. If you are a full-grown man, you should not want your male genitalia crunched up in a pair of jeans. I'm a full-grown man, and it's uncomfortable with me. So that's all I'm gonna say on that. I just wanted to highlight that. That's all.
Other stuff because they want men who they hope are attracted to them to be attracted to their femininity. Why the fuck are you as a man wearing tight jeans? What exactly is your purpose? What exactly is your reason? I asked a young brother at the school I work at one day a few weeks ago. Explain to me exactly what the purpose is for you sagging your pants. I'm not even judging you, kid. Just tell me why. And sure enough, he was honest as fuck. He was like, be honest with you, I don't even know why. I couldn't even tell you. I'm like, I know why, because the peer pressure is part of the culture, is what all of you and your friends do. You want to fit in. I get it. You know what I'm saying? Then I had to break it down to him where that all started. And again, he's a teenager, senior in high school, 17 years old. You know, he wants to fit in. Like we all did at that age. We all want to fit in with our peer group and be accepted. I understand that. However, as a man, I could not allow myself to watch this young brother and not drop those jewels on him. You feel me? But back to my two colleagues, right? Now, I'm be honest with you. I wholeheartedly disagree with these two women. Wholeheartedly disagree. And I had to walk out on the conversation, you know what I'm saying? Not angrily, of course, but I had to walk out on the conversation because I'm sorry, but as a man, I'm sorry. As a parent, based on every parent believes that they know what's best for their child. I wouldn't dare go to one of those women and tell them, oh, well, you're being this way, you're being that way about your kid. You should do this, you should do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna open my wallet and say insert child support check here. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the only, and rightfully so, and rightfully so. You know what I'm saying? Because if I was overly judgmental and critiquing somebody else's way of raising their child, now mind you, all I'm doing is preparing my children and trying to teach them about the world at large. Look, you know what I'm saying? Look, don't trust any man who tells you he likes women but he's wearing a skirt. Don't trust a man that's walking around carrying a purse. You understand? Don't trust them. Stay away from my kid. Be the man that you are. You understand? You can't judge me on what I think is best for my children. Because I'm not trying to raise them to be criminals. I'm not raising them to be disrespectful to adults or authority. None of those things. I'm not raising them with any preconceived notions of evil or negativity whatsoever. You understand? Who they become as adults is ultimately up to them and hopefully the teachings of me and their mom. And hopefully they become positive individuals. But if for all of our work, they still end up becoming deviants, criminals, or whatever, then that's the path they chose. I'll try to direct my children into the right way, the right path all I can. Because they're mine and I love them. And I don't want to see them fuck their lives up. But nowhere in the world am I going to be so obnoxious and so arrogant as to start to dictate to other people, you know, what they want. Oh, you need to be more like this with your kids. You need to be more like that. Man, fuck that. And coming from two females, get out of here, man. Seriously. Again, females are helping to push this metrosexual agenda. Females. The same females who will say, oh, well, teach your children to be more accepting of grown-ass heterosexual men wearing skirts and lederhosen and all that shit. Be more accepting of that. You wouldn't raise your son to be that kind of man, and you wouldn't want to date that kind of man. Plain and simple. Cynthia G even said it. Women don't want beta men. They want alpha men. A beta man is a man who will put on a skirt because it's fucking trending. That's a beta man. An alpha man is a man who stands in the face of adversity and say, I don't give a fuck how many people doing that shit. I'm sticking to my guns. That's an alpha male. Somebody who doesn't mind trailblazing. Somebody who doesn't mind being different. Being a cut above the rest. Somebody who doesn't mind being cut from a different cloth. That's what an alpha male is. Somebody who is a leader, who knows how to follow, versus a follower who has no idea how to lead. I'm not raising my kids to be beta anything. You understand what I'm saying? So that's really what I wanted to highlight, the hypocrisy in this metrosexual agenda. Women are pushing this shit and don't even know it, right? When my oldest son was like 2-3 years old, I was at the store with him and his sisters, and I had him in the car because he was a little guy. I had him in the car, right? And so some ladies that were in line, you know, were like, oh, he's so cute, like, oh, he's such an angel. He couldn't do anything wrong. Me, oh no, because I was reprimanding my son for something that he did at 2 years old. Yes, no, son, you don't do that. Oh, he could get away with murder in my house, and I was like, you know what? It's a good thing you not raising. And I told these women this. It's a good thing you not raising my son. I'm not raising my son to think that because he's cute he can get away with whatever he wants. This is why our communities and the young men in our communities are in the situations that they're in, because too many women such as yourselves have told them too often throughout their lives that you're too cute to get in trouble. You understand? Being cute or handsome is your get out of jail free card? No, scratch that. No, that mentality needs to change. You're never too cute for an ass whipping. You understand what I'm saying? At least that's what I used to hear when I was a kid. You ain't never too cute to get your ass kicked if you mess up. And the same for my kids. I don't beat my kids. I don't need to. I don't need to beat my kids. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you need to beat yours, but I don't need to beat my kids because I'm forceful, and I'm forceful enough to where as though they're intimidated to the degree that they respect me and they're not going to go against my wishes, and they love me, so they want to do things that they believe please me. So I don't have to beat them. You understand? But don't get it twisted. I'm not above corporal punishment if it's necessary, but I haven't found it necessary to have to do that to my kids. And on top of that, I'm a grown-ass man. I don't even feel right hitting little kids as a grown-ass man. You know, I've knocked out grown men before. So yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it. But anyway, this is my thing. Listen, women, do not advocate for a world that has the type of men that you hate to be with. Because not one time have I ever heard a female that was, I guess, born before 1980. Not once have I ever heard a female say, look at that dude in that skirt. Girl, he's sexy as shit. I've never heard that statement uttered out of the lips of a woman ever in life. I have never, ever heard a woman say that. Oh, girl, look at that dude. He getting his eyebrows arched and his eyelashes curled and getting a pedicure all at the same time. I've never heard a woman say how sexy that was. I've never heard that shit ever in my life. Never in my life. So this is to all you women out there that would tell me, oh, I need to raise my kids to be more accepting of this, that, and the third. Fuck that. I'm not accepting of metrosexual culture. Sorry, I'm not accepting of it. You wouldn't want to date a man like that? You wouldn't raise your son to be that way? Why the fuck would you tell me that I need to raise my sons to be more accepting of that kind of shit when you wouldn't want a man like that? And you don't date men like that. To be honest with you, these two females date men that or prefer men that are more like myself. Alpha men, somebody who basically just isn't a fucking chump or a pussy. A man who will stand up and tell you what he mean and mean what he said. And that be the end of it. They actually prefer a man like that. So I just wanted to get that off my chest, man, because I find the hypocrisy just there's so much hypocrisy in the air that I don't think there's enough room for the fucking oxygen molecules. You understand? Because there's so much hypocrisy in the air. Don't tell me what I should accept for my children, but at the same time, that's the very thing that you're running away from yourself, right? Man, get out of here with that, man. So I wanted to preface this story with the Adrian Broner shit, you know what I'm saying, then the tight jeans stuff, and then, you know, kind of refer back to my old video, you know, to get some exposition on this because I find this utterly ridiculous. I find it utterly ridiculous that we live in a world where women are actually telling men, oh, you should be more accepting of this perversion of our culture. But I wouldn't raise my son to be that way. If you wouldn't raise your son to be that way or date a man like that, why would you tell me to accept this? Why? I mean, please explain. Why would you want me to raise my son in a way that you wouldn't raise your own son? This is what I'm saying. Women, you need a man to help you raise your sons. Because if this is what women in the 21st century are thinking is acceptable behavior for men, we are in fucking trouble, man. We are in a lot of trouble.
Because of a Kansas City shuffle. What's a Kansas City shuffle? Kansas City shuffle is when everybody looks right. You go left. Never heard of it. Well, it's not something people hear about. Falls on deaf ears mostly. This particular one's been over 20 years in the making.